truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the JohnAge Project.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the AnomicAge, and I am your host, JohnAge, repping a completely new setup. Praise the Lord Jesus. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hailing proudly from the coastal plains of the old North State, I will be your tour guide this evening as we take a somewhat satirical journey down the path of murder, destruction, mayhem, and the extermination of human life on this planet. A forced march into obsolescence thrust upon us by a global satanic death cult of pedophiles. Ooh, it's so good to be up in the dark side of the AM. Man, it's beautiful out there. Well, it's actually not. It's hot as, it's pretty darn hot out there in the coastal plains of the old North State. I will tell you that, for heaven's sakes. It is dreadful outside. Hot, sticky, humid, terrible. You didn't come here for a weather report, folks. You came here to talk about this. Please check out AnomicAge.com if you've not already done so. Please like all the likes. Subscribe to all the subscriptions. PayPal.me/AnomicAge. Patreon.com/AnomicAge as well. That's the best way you can help me. If you could do no more, please like all the likes, subscribe to all the subscriptions, any social media platform, just about. I'm on it. And please just share those likes. Share the links. Share the love, if you can, if you will, if you shall. We got a lot to get into this evening, so I'm not going to blather on any longer than I've already done. We got to jump into the deep end of the pool, don't we, folks? Show art tonight. You might like this show art more than you like old show arts. I don't know. Just thinking. Man, I wish I would have saved this because I was just messing around on the phone a little bit before the show. And there was a hilarious picture of Alex Jones talking about some InfoWars jeans. It was a hilariously not seductive picture of Alex Jones in some sort of all denim attire. Just ridiculous, folks. Ridiculous. Title of tonight's episode, Distract Me Not. So much to get into. It's one of those things, I believe it's an Old Integrity song / record. Seasons in the Size of Days, I believe, something like that. Seasons in the Size of Days, I do believe. And I don't know if they're referencing this or not, but I'll reference it. The Quickening, a la the late, great Art Bell. The one and only host of Coast to Coast AM, Art Bell, talked about the quickening, folks, and I think that's exactly what we are living in. Seasons in the times of days, folks. It is quick. So much goes on within just a few days. It's almost impossible to keep up with it. So I'll give you the bird's eye view, the waterfront, if you will, or just my short synopsis of what's been going on in the last few. Because it is ridiculous out there, folks. I don't even know where to start. We got a tsunami, I suppose. Several ridiculously odd earthquakes in the Pacific, kind of going along with the ridiculous heat in the southeast. And, of course, the prequel to all that, the floods to, fro, and everywhere you might happen to go all across Los Estados Unidos in the last month or so. So, odd weather, but don't worry. I'm sure it's not the NEXRAD systems. Nay, it's probably just natural. Wink, wink. Natural, just like, 6 months ago, they were still denying stratospheric aerosol injections, aka chemtrails, and now I think they've just come full circle and have stopped just denying it and gaslighting the general public, and they're just kind of coming out with it. Oh yeah, it's kind of what we do around here. So tsunami. I haven't seen anything in the news of a tsunami hitting Hawaii or the West Coast today, but I don't know. I haven't watched a heck of a lot of the news in the last 6 or 7 hours, so could be wrong. Oh, my goodness. I cannot express to you how grateful I am to have a system that works. Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this working system. I can hardly contain myself, folks. Okay, so we've got tsunamis hitting the West Coast. Before that, there was some boobs shooting up the joint in New York City. And a lot of 33s in that, in case you want to play the numerology or the New World Order or the 33rd degree. You know that's me. The whole House of Pain thing. Yeah, that's really what it's all about. It's these weird 33s that just keep showing up again and again and again. All over that jive mess. They tried to paint that as if it was some cracker, but alas, it was a person of color doing the shooting. I think he's now claiming, or the authorities are claiming, he was protesting concussion syndromes there, just shooting up the NFL building, whatever. I don't know. Taken out by a guy with a gun. Imagine that. So we got that one. Let me see. I'm sorry, folks. Let me just look up something real quick. Because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Yeah. That's the guy, right? Yep, Manhattan shooting. Target the NFL. Just making sure I'm not crazy. Sometimes I just want to triple check myself. And I decided to do it live on air tonight. So there you go. So we got this boob shooting up the joint. They tried to pretend he was a cracker, but not. Oh, my heavens to Betsy. What are we? We already checked off the tsunami. We checked off the shooting. Let's check off some more dribble and drabs and utter nonsense, shall we? The next big thing that you've probably seen awash all over your social media, although the mainstream media has done their best to just obfuscate it, occlude it from you. We got the Cincinnati racial attack. We got a bevy of black folks beating up this man. And then we had, I think it was his wife, maybe some other female tried to step in. She got blindsided by a dude and beat down too. So these people just got beat up one side, down the other by a bevy of black individuals in Cincinnati. But don't worry, it wasn't a hate crime. No. It wasn't a racial attack. No. It was just a random old beating. But we've got 2 people arrested for it. They're trying to claim that it was somehow alcohol induced. Of course, any excuse is better than none, I suppose. Any excuse will do. Let's play this one though, folks, because we got to play this lovely police chief. My heavens. I'm not even going to speak on this. I'm just going to let this play out, and then I will talk about it in a minute. Okay, I'm going to pick a lot. No más hablando por ahí.
Social media and journalism, and the role it plays in this incident. And yes, guys, that's you. That is you. Social media, the post that we've seen, does not depict the entire incident. That is one version of what occurred. At times, social media and mainstream media.
All right, I'm going to cut this off because I'm not going to let this lady just keep on talking and talking and talking. You know what I'm talking about. So, did you pick up anything on that? Just wondering, did you pick up anything on that one at all? Okay, so that was lovely Terry Theetge, police chief in Cincinnati. I don't think she's a DEI hire, do you? Forget about it. No. But yeah, that was Terry. But of course, instead of accepting the blame for any of this, she points out it's social media's fault. Of course, it's social media's fault. There's a funny Chris Rock bit where he's just like 20 years ago, where he's talking about it's the media. How all these lovely pundits and ne'er-do-wells, carpetbaggers and the like, love to always try to point the blame at the media. But in contrast, like that old Bold song, I think we need to accept the blame. Not me, probably not you, but assuredly our societal downfall. Because you see, we've made the handbasket that we're in. Because K through 12 indoctrination, college, university, weaponization has pushed this lovely narrative of 400 years a slave. Everybody's a slave. Everybody's oppressed. Everybody's at the hand, at the noose, at the neck, at the downtrodden, all across the world. It's all because of them crackers. Yeah. It's all them, folks. It's all them. So, I guess a steady diet of nothing, Fugazi reference, for the last 60 plus years that's been peddling this jive mess has convinced a whole swath of the population that every ill known to man, an animal and beast of all sorts, color, shapes, and size, is because of them crackers. So that's why you see these obviously racial attacks all across the nation and in todo el mundo at the hands of various peoples of color against various peoples of Blanco. So that's what we saw there in Cincinnati. I think they've gotten 2 people. Maybe they're going to get some more. I don't know. But don't worry, because Terry Theetge, police chief DEI hire, wants to convince you that it's all social media's fault and wants to dissuade, distract, and otherwise stop you. Stern talking to. You see, she was doing all the body language, all the mean, like the Karen face. Good grief, she's a Karen if there ever was one. Trying to tell people that they shouldn't film these attacks, they shouldn't post these on social media because it's only one side of the story. Terry, are you there, Terry? One side of the story, you're showing a white dude getting beat up by a angry mob, and then you're seeing a woman getting beat up by an angry mob. So I think we saw the video. I guess you want us to believe that this was somehow justified because they were white. Justified. Maybe somebody even uttered a spooky word that just got everybody's pants in a knot. And they couldn't take it anymore. And they just had to go forth and beat up some, So there. We've covered the Cincinnati debacle. We've covered the tsunami. We've covered the shooting in New York City. What else? I know. Let's go over here because we need to see this one too. This is too funny, folks. I was going to make the entire album art for this regarding these radioactive wasps. Radioactive wasps found at South Carolina nuclear facility. This is in Aiken, South Carolina. The nest was probed. What? That doesn't sound nice. Probed and discovered to be 100,000 DPM, which is a moderately high level of radioactivity. The wasp nest is considered on-site legacy radioactive contamination and not related to a loss of contamination control. No. Why would you think it was a loss of radioactive control? After all, they love you. The government loves you, just like Brother Love from the old WWF days. They love you. That's why they have poison in the air, food, and water. That's why they won't kick the fluoride out. That's why they're still giving you vaccines that'll kill you dead in a hammer. They love you. Yeah, it's just some radioactive wasp. I mean, come on. What, are you worried about a little radioactivity, a little radioactive wasps? Huh? You racist. Get out of here, dirtbags. But wait, there's more. What you really wanted to talk about was Sydney Sweeney. I love the Health Ranger. But I don't know if I believe a lot of... I'm just kidding, Mike. I love the Health Ranger. But I did see a post today where he was kind of saying, you know, Sydney Sweeney, she's just not very attractive. She looks like, I don't know what he's referring to, like heroin chic or something. I guess her face is looking all solemn and down and washed out. Anyway, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about Mike the Health Ranger. We are going to talk about the American Eagle ad campaign that has just caused the greatest backlash of all time. Man, I should have covered this too, man. I'm going to have to work that into tomorrow's show. It's too much to try to weave into this one. So the American Eagle has taken Sydney Sweeney as their cover girl, I guess, of sorts. And as a consequence, the ad campaign is killing it. Stocks are out the roof. Everybody's talking about some jeans. Or maybe they're just talking about Sydney Sweeney. I don't know. What I do know is it's caused a racial backlash. Imagine that, a racial problem here in the United States. Get out of here. You must be funning. That can't be real. Not here. Not in the land of the sheep, home of the slave. No. So much tolerance and love. As long as you go along with the DEI, as long as you go along with the woke narrative, everything will be all right. But now we got these folks claiming that it's somehow racist because she's talking about genes and genetics in this ad campaign. And it's really a racist dog whistle. And, instead of having some big fat piece of trash like so many have had in the last 5 to 10 as part of their ad campaign, this vomit-inducing, nausea-stirring kind of mess that's been in a lot of the ad campaigns, American Eagle is going in a different direction. They're going with what actually sells products. Attractive people. Healthy-looking people. People that don't look like bipedal walleye in a swimsuit. I know this is going to be upsetting to many of you, but, the woke types, they don't really buy much of anything. See, all right, newsflash, that's just true. The woke types, although they may love and at least give lip service to liking these obese people in scantily clad outfits that you can't tell what's what, the vast majority of folks just don't find that attractive. I know that's just mind-blowing for a lot of you. So, American Eagle going with I might even have to say, attractive female who identifies as female, who seems to not be gay, trans, or otherwise some sort of weird category that they've pulled out of a hat. Yeah. People that buy product and find that attractive are supporting this. And you've got this backlash of, oh my goodness, it's racist, and oh my heavens, and it's, they're trying to pull some comparison between Beyonce and Sydney Sweeney. I mean, come on, folks. I'm going to keep my mouth shut on this one. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to keep my mouth set out of. I sure am. Oh, my heavens to Betsy. And I guess somehow, are we going to claim, what's that other BS term of the last 10 years? Cultural appropriation. That's it. Are we going to come going to come out and somehow say cultural appropriation? Please, don't make me laugh. So we've checked off radioactive wasps, and now we've cleared the Sydney Sweeney conversation. I'm going to try to keep it as clean as I can, so I'm not going to say any more. That's all I'm going to say on this one, okay? No más hablando. Let's move right along, shall we? Because in my humble opinion, everything I've just covered has been nothing more than a weapon of mass distraction. Because they want you distracted for all this, so you won't see this. Let's pull this one up, folks. White House and CMS to launch health tech ecosystem initiative to expand use of digital health with a focus on consumers. What? Focus on consumers? I think y'all be joshing me. There ain't no way you're focusing on consumers, folks. Don't BS a BSer. Ain't no way you're focusing on consumers. I disagree. But this is a typical trope by those boobs in power. It's just like Bush again. I hate to keep saying this, but it's just so doggone obvious, man. It's just like Bush baby again. Just like Bush baby again, folks. Heavens to Betsy. Where is this thing when I need it? God bless America. Oh, well. It's just like Bush baby all over again because it's the same old thing. It's like the Patriot Act. See, it's for your good. It's for your health. We love you. We care about you. We're launching this big tech monstrosity. Want to guess who's all up in this kind of legislation / tech? AI, Microsoft, Google, Macintosh, just to name a few. It's a laundry list of tech giants that you've probably heard of and several you haven't heard of. That's who's all in cahoots with this. Yeah. Health Tech Ecosystem Initiative. This is brought to you by the godfather of the forced vaccine. Oh, he didn't force the vaccine. Okay. Fauci was the one forcing it. He was the one funding it, I guess you could say. Operation Warp Speed, anyone? Remember that? Remember Trump, baby, pushing Operation Warp Speed right up? I mean, still pushing Operation Warp Speed, still pushing how great the vaccine is. Did he come out and force you to take it? I guess not. Not officially. He just strong-armed you to take it. You had Fauci strong-arm you to take it. He let all these various corporations and otherwise force people to take it. Didn't come out and speak out against it. Still claiming it's a great deal. And let me just show you this one, folks, because you might have missed this in the mosh. Let's pull this one up on the big screen. Trump U.S. CDC nominee backs vaccines as life-saving. Item 1 of 3, Susan Manzarez. Sorry, I'm just messing around here. Susan Manzarez, U.S. President Trump's nominee to be director of the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, testifies before Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee. Confirmation hearings on Capitol Hill, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. She sees no link between autism and the vaccines, would prioritize vaccine availability, modernize outbreak detection. CDC faces budget cuts and staff reductions under Kennedy's leadership. So, what's that tell you exactly? I think old Susan's pro-vaccine. She don't see anything wrong with them. she doesn't see any kind of connection between autism and the vaccine. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say she probably don't see any connection between this sudden rise in deaths and anything associated with that lovely vaccine. Operation Warp Speed, anyone? The Pfizer, the Moderna, any of them. I guess all of those lovely COVID vaccines were just good for it. Nothing but a little vitamin C and water in there, right? Didn't cause any problems, didn't rewire your DNA, didn't have any kind of RNA biotech in it. It was just good for you, right? That's what Susan's repping. And I'm thinking she might have some issues with all these budget cuts proposed by RFK Jr., but we know he's just in the pocket of Rabbi Shmuley anyway. And we know he's got some connections to the client list anyway. So while you were all out there just checking out some American Eagle ad campaigns, talking about some radioactive wasps stressing a tsunami hitting the West Coast. Don't worry, in case you missed it, Oprah was not going to let anyone across her private land to escape the tidal surge due to the tsunami because Oprah loves you. She's got her own network called OWN. I mean, for Pete's sake, she loves you. So we've covered the racial hate crimes in Cincinnati. We've covered the radioactive wasp. We've covered the tsunami. We've covered Sydney Sweeney, the ad campaign to save our lives. And, of course, we've covered the person of color shooting up the joint at the NFL building. 33rd degree and all that included, too. My goodness, I think our time has drawn to a close. We've covered the waterfront and so much more tonight in a quite quick manner, I got to say. We pulled this whole thing out in under 30 minutes. Whew. You can't do everything, but you can do something. Please don't be idly distracted by this, folks. It's all just an op, weapons of mass distraction. Keep your eyes on the prize, because before you know it, all your medical history and everything else is going to be tied into AI, and they're going to be deciding whether or not you get any health care or not. Piggybacking on the old Obamacare thing, you remember old Trump baby was going to get rid of Obamacare? Maybe not. Maybe we're just going to add to it with some AI death lists. Don't get your care, you don't get your treatment. Maybe you criticize Israel one too many times, and we're going to swaft you off to a gulag. No health care for you. Rabbi Shmuley said so. You can't do everything, but you can do something. Get out there, do your part, make a difference. I'll be seeing you sooner than later in the AnomicAge.
Thank you for listening to the AnomicAge, a JohnAge project. For past shows, further info, and to comment, go to AnomicAge.com. That's AnomicAge.com. Till next time, thank you for listening to the AnomicAge.